What's going on, guys? So I get it. There are millions of videos on YouTube about how to be productive, but if we're really honest with ourselves, most of them go a little something like this.
For the ultimate productive day, sleep standing up. Wake up at 4:20 a.m. Start your morning with the ultimate caffeine kick by chewing up a handful of coffee beans, then head to the gym to do 500 muscle ups. Meditate for 60 minutes, then jump in your personal jet and fly to the Rocky Mountains to take your cold shower outdoors. Head on into the office and record 3 podcasts at the same time while writing a 1,000-page novel. It's now 4:45 a.m. and you're ready to start your day.
But look, that's fine. Like, if that's your jam, then go for it. But odds are, if that video just described you, you're probably not on the internet looking for productivity videos. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I build my day and set it up to be a productive day. And I'm going to show you the technique that I've used for years and years to publish hundreds of videos and teach thousands of people how to write code and do DevOps stuff. And I've used these same skills to build successful startups and successful software engineering teams. And it's actually pretty simple. I think you'll be surprised at how easy it is. So let's just go jump into it. So my whole productivity system actually just revolves around this, a 3x5 card. And I get it. There are apps that will do this and websites that will do this, and I've tried all of them, but none of them work for me except for this. So it's actually rare that you will ever find me without my daily card beside me. And what I put on here is I put 5 things that have to get accomplished today. And then each day I create a new card. So the 5 things that go on here are things that actually are meaningful for me to get done today. Things that I'm going to be upset with myself if I don't get them done. Now, they often revolve around some key areas for me, and this may be a good place for you to start. For example, I put something on there to deal with my physical health, something to address my mental health, something to address my financial health, my social network, hanging out with friends, family, that type of stuff. And so that's 4 goals. And then the 5th one that goes on here is a goal that helps drive my business and my life towards like the future vision of where I want to see things end up. So let's actually just take a look at what's on this card. So the very first thing is go to the P.O. box at the post office and get my mail. And it sounds stupid, but I always forget to do that. So that's why it's on the card. That actually ties into my financial health because I know that some of my clients have paid me for work that I've done, which means I get money. Also ties into my social health because my wife really likes it whenever I go get those checks and put them in the bank. That makes her happy, which makes my life happy, so on and so forth. The next thing on here, oh look, it's to record this video, so I can check that one off. The 3rd one on here is probably a bad example. I put down on here to get RStudio working on Kubernetes, and that's something I'm working on for a client. The reason I say it's a bad thing is because I've already been working on getting that done for a week. It's a complete pain in the ass, and odds are I'm not going to get that done today. So if there's something that you think you aren't going to be able to get done today, break it down into something smaller that is achievable for that day. The next one on here, dinner plans with my wife. We're going out to dinner tonight. That ties into the social health. And then the last one on here is to send my newsletter. I'm actually late sending it out this week. And that goes out to my email list, which helps grow my business. By the way, if you're not on my newsletter, if you head over to DevOpsForDevelopers.io/roadmap, you'll get the DevOps 2022 roadmap, and you'll also get added to my newsletter that I send out weekly, filled with tips and tricks on how to grow and advance your career. So now here's where the magic comes in. As I complete these tasks, I check them off. When all 5 things are checked off on here, I'm technically done for the day, and I get to consider today a win. So whenever I finish these and get them all done, I'll go up on my whiteboard here and I'll put a black square over today's date. And then over time, I'll get this sequence of black squares going. And then that just gives me additional motivation to continue getting my daily checklist done so that I don't have to leave an empty square up on my board there. Now, it probably goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. If every day you're finishing your 5 tasks by like 10 a.m., then you probably should be thinking about what you're putting on there and make sure that you're not just putting fluff items on there for the sake of checking them off. These should all be things that address the key pillars of your life: your financial health, your physical health, mental health, social health, and then a goal that drives your life towards the place that you see yourself being in the future. And then the last thing is, at the very end of my day, I will prepare tomorrow's card. It's really important for me to make sure that I do that at the end of today rather than trying to make something up first thing in the morning, because I found if I wait until the morning to do that, then I end up putting stupid stuff down that's not really meaningful. If I do it at the end of the day, I can take some time to stop, think about it, plan it, and have a good list of tasks for tomorrow. So that's how I schedule my day. One other thing I do, because this has plagued me for years, when I get to my desk and I sit down to start work, there's always like this kind of like ramp up period where I try to figure out where I left off yesterday and what I need to do first thing today. So the way I get around that is if I'm writing code, I will write a broken test, right? So I'll come in and I will see that there's a failed test there, and then that instantly reminds me of what I'm doing, and I can immediately start writing the code to get that test to pass. And so that just gets me up and running as soon as I sit down at my desk. If I'm not writing code, I will often leave a to-do comment on whatever I'm working on, saying, hey, here's what you were doing. Jump back on it by starting to do this, and just leave a little note to future Will, because if I don't do that, then I'll sit down, stare at my computer, try to remember what I was supposed to be doing, but that generally only lasts like 15 to 20 seconds before I go and open up Twitter or something and end up going down this dark hole of wasting time. So here's the big takeaway. This is a process of trial and error. What I do probably won't work for you verbatim. So pick the parts that you think will work for you, try them, modify them, watch everybody else's productivity videos, do the same thing, because you're a unique person, and what works for me is not going to work for you without modification. And I think that's where a lot of people get discouraged. They try something that works for someone else and it doesn't work for them, and they just throw up their hands, especially if they've tried like multiple different systems. But that's the way it has to work. You've got to figure out what works for you, and the only way you can do that is by failing a lot. And so failure in this case is not a bad thing. It just means you've eliminated one more thing that doesn't work for you, which puts you ultimately closer to the thing that is going to work for you. And I can promise you that is worth the time and effort that it takes, because in figuring this out, you are going to start making progress on your goals. You're going to start seeing changes in how productive you are, which in turn is going to lower your anxiety. It's going to lower your stress level, and it's going to put you in a calm place where you feel like you have control and actually feel like you have the bandwidth to take on those bigger goals that you really want to tackle, but you don't think that you can hit them right now because you've got so much other stuff going on, which may include, addressing big changes in your physical fitness or in your mental health, or, taking a course to learn a new programming language, or could involve downloading the DevOps 2022 roadmap guide and starting to build your DevOps skills in addition to your existing skill set which you can do at devopsfordevelopers.io/roadmap, and that is a /, not a /. So go do that, check out the next video, and I will see you there.